Dominee, Meek, Milwaukee. In a nutshell, when I was 15 years old, I committed a murder, a gang-related murder, homicide. I killed an innocent man, bystander, while trying to kill someone else, and I was eventually was sentenced to life in prison for first-degree intentional homicide. I served 28 years and was released this past September. There's no way to describe what it felt like to come home and see my mama, nieces, nephews that I hadn't seen, to be with my father, and to hopefully make amends. There's times when I had given up hope, and I really believed that I was gonna die and never get out of prison, or get out when I couldn't do anything, you know. So to be given that chance and that opportunity, it meant everything. And there is no way to describe that. I don't think there's a word that could describe that feeling I had, but it was overwhelming, definitely. So I've had a soft landing, as they say. You know, my family has been a great support. I was fortunate to have had 2 great jobs since I've been out, both paying more than $20 an hour. I've had the support of groups from Wage Aid to Expo. So I've had a lot of help, but I've had my challenges too. Technology has been the greatest challenge. Also, social norms have changed since I was incarcerated. And learning to navigate those 2 things have been challenging at times. I haven't experienced a lot of social anxiety, but I've made my blunders, things like that, especially with social media. You know, prison doesn't prepare you to deal with social media. And that was my greatest challenge, I think. Learning to drive was a unique challenge too. You know, I've never driven a car, and I got my license 3 months after I was out of prison. And learning to navigate the streets of Milwaukee has been, and still is, a challenge. The best thing we got going for us in prison is connections with our family in our community. And COVID restricted that. I personally think that the Department of Corrections took the opportunity to put a lot of things in place that they had been wanting to do anyway, you know. But the fact of the matter is that COVID gave them an excuse to do so, and they locked it down. You know, we didn't get a lot of information initially. And it made our time worse, because they locked the prisons down. You couldn't see your family. You wouldn't even get, they even limited visits to religious services and lawyers. You know, it was isolating, you know, and it was a mental torture, you know. Then they gave us phone calls eventually, free phone calls, but again, they're limited, and you know, it was hell, to use the word I guess I've been avoiding. It was hell. The first thing I would tell my 15-year-old self is, get the help you need, and don't stop until you get the help you need. At 15, I did that. I asked for help, but when it didn't come through, or it wasn't the help that I thought I needed, I stopped. The second thing I'll tell my 15-year-old self is you're okay. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself, you're okay. You know, you're not the reject, the problem child, all the derogative terms that people apply to you, the labels that they're giving you. That isn't you. That you are worthy in and of yourself because you are you. I derive my greatest hope from groups like JLUSA, but also from Wage Aid and Expo and all the groups that are working to create change, not just in the carceral system, but also in the community at large. You know, that gives me hope. It's hard. You know, we're taking steps back. I'm aware of Supreme Court rulings and legislation that's being passed, but that people are stepping up and saying, you know what, our kids are worth fighting for, and we're gonna fight for a better future for them. That gives me hope, that I'm not out here doing it by myself. You know, so that's hopeful, and we're making that change.